Dan Lebatard.
I don't get what you guys want. I really don't understand. I've been in this business a quarter of a century now. Wow, that's a gasbaggy sentence.
Woo! Stugotz.
25 years I've been in this business.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it any better.
Nope. Thanks for clarifying, though, what a quarter century means. And I was being serious.
This is the Dan Lebatard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Our thanks to Kevin Arnovitz for joining us earlier. John Boog Shambi, the voice of Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio, will join us in a half hour on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line.
So many of you are writing in the corporation that lays people off, that's an instance that feels like. All right, hold on a second. We missed something. What happened with the Sports Center, Stugotz? We forgot the Sports Center.
Rattle for my sports whisperer. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests of the Dan Lebatard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your Sports Center update. Heat take game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, 102-96 in overtime after blowing a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left in regulation. Game two set Thursday night in Toronto. Portland had an 11-point lead headed into the fourth quarter in Golden State last night. Warriors outscored them 34-12 in the fourth to win 110-99. Game three is set for Saturday night in Portland. Game two tonight in Cleveland, Cavs and Hawks. Cleveland leads the series 1-0 tip-off set for 8 p.m. And finally, WWE superstar Ryback was sent home after a contract dispute with CEO Vince McMahon. Ryback has released a statement to explain his position. It blows my mind how in a sport which is predetermined from a company standpoint, winners are paid so much more than the losers. More on this story as it develops, Dan. It's a big one. For all the latest headlines and information, tune into SportsCenter on ESPNRadio.com all throughout the day.
It's probably better that we screwed that up at the beginning because I was headed down another boring, obnoxious, strident path. So let me object to something management is doing around here. Can someone explain to me? Because still people don't seem to get our show, and it's people in the building that don't seem to get our show. Why? Somebody explain this to me. Maybe the babysitter, Liam, can explain this to me. Mm-hmm. Why is there an ad playing all over ESPN Radio? The biggest names in sports talk here. And then Mike and Mike have Josh Norman, and we have Ty Detmer.
There you go.
And
finally.
What's happening? Finally what?
I've been waiting for you, okay? I've been saying this for years. I've been waiting for you to have my back on this, and it seems like we finally arrived at that place.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm objecting to. I don't care that Mike and Mike got Josh Norman. Well, you're misunderstanding what I'm objecting to.
Oh, so you don't have my back. Okay, proceed.
You think I'm complaining about Mike and Mike getting the good guests? That's what you thought I was about to complain about here?
I was hoping.
How is this possible that you're so bad at this?
I was hoping.
No, Stugotz, I prefaced it by saying people who don't get our show. Were you not listening?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, it gave you an honest answer.
Thanks for the honesty.
You got it.
The people who are producing the ads for this show, why are they doing that? And why don't they understand our show? Who's doing that? That they would put, no, but they're not trying to be funny. That's the thing. If they were trying to be funny, then it would be funny. They're not trying to be funny. They're saying the biggest name is in sports talk here, Ty Detmer.
But even if they're not trying to be funny, it is still funny.
Okay, but
it kind of is.
Kevin
Arnovitz.
Unintentionally funny is not. It's not what I'd be going for there.
Well, tell them how to do it.
Okay, don't run that ad. is the way to do that. We are, and by the way, this is our show too. We are on a quest to get every Browns quarterback that has started for the Browns since 1999. And when I say quest, I mean we've had Ty Detmer on, and I've got no further proof whatsoever that we're actually trying to do this.
We're this close on Jake Delhomme.
Nice. Guy's been to a Super Bowl. Not with Cleveland, but he's been to a Super Bowl.
I want to talk about how Steve Smith hated him.
All right, but to re-explain to the audience what we do around here, like we're kind of a spoof of a sports radio show. And so we do stuff like that just to swing and miss. And maybe it connects and maybe it doesn't. It's okay. It could be funnier if we swing and miss. But why do the people at ESPN who are involved with marketing not understand that? And so what they're doing is the biggest names in sports talk here. Josh Norman. And then you hear cliche, mumbled garble. Ty Detmer. Tell us about your 2 starts in Cleveland. I feel like we're doing a show that the people who employ us don't understand that we're doing.
Right, and I'm with you. Now that you've kind of laid it out that way, Mike, you're wrong. It's just not funny. That's not.
I mean, it can be funny if they're in on the joke. If it's like it can be funny if it's like this: Ty Detmer, Dabo Swinney, and then loser game show sound. I'm sorry, not like that. No, let me get it right. Josh Norman on Mike and Mike, and then, crossing spotlights and, fireworks.
Right.
Dabo Swinney and woo. And then loser game show sound, stepchild show, Ty Detmer. Ty Detmer. But not the way they're doing it where we're first.
Right. It's got to be the biggest names on Mike and Mike and no names on ours.
It can't be the biggest names in sports talk here, Ty Detmer.
I mean, maybe we should try to get some of the biggest names in sports, too.
Well, there's another problem. I mean, that's a whole nother issue.
And you're right about this entire thing, man. Like, we should be getting better guests, man. Everything goes to Mike. You are right. I got your back on this one. Like, everything just goes to Mike and Mike. You are right. You are dead on this, man. I'm here for you.
Today's guest list of Kevin Arnovitz and Boog Shambi. That's our show. In fact, make one of those. Tell Liam to make one of those. The biggest names in sports talk here. Kevin Arnovitz. See, that's funny. That's funny. Or Kevin Armpit. And everybody be like, who's Kevin Arnovitz?
The biggest names in sports talk everywhere else, but
here.
Getting funnier.
I mean, the way it's done is very poorly.